President Trump officially endorses the amazing Viktor Orban for re-election in Hungary. In this video, we're going to take a look at the significance of that endorsement. We're going to see how much the globalist mainstream media absolutely hates Orban. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll show you precisely why the media despises Orban so much. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, a happy new year to all of you. I am your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy, turbulent, and insane times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, this coming year will be the best yet as our Patriot movement begins to grow. As you know, the 2022 midterms will be instrumental, and many are starting as soon as March in terms of their campaigns. So each and every one of you has a role in the outcome of this election, and it's my hope to encourage you in that journey. Fighting rhinos is not going to be easy to do alone, especially when the stakes are this high. And so that's why 2 weeks from now, January 14th and 15th, I'll be holding a virtual event with patriots all over the world, and you're invited. Our Patriot Live events have brought thousands of patriots across the world encouragement and action for taking back our countries, and this one will be even better. I'm outlining exactly why our movement is hopeful this coming year and exactly what you need to do to get involved, no matter your talents or your abilities. Click on that link in the description below to join me at Patriot Live virtually, no matter where you are, as together we prepare for 2022. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to get a super awesome discount as well. All right, let's dive right in here, gang. President Trump has officially endorsed Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban for re-election. As many of you know, Viktor Orban has become really a rock star among patriots on the international stage. Tucker Carlson recently devoted an entire show interviewing him and his amazing patriotic leadership in the nation of Hungary. And you may also have seen video footage of Chuck Norris's recent visit to Hungary, where he met with Orban and got a tour of some of the martial arts training that the Hungarian armed forces go through. It's really, really awesome stuff. Now, of course, the leftist cultural Marxists that comprise our pathetic mainstream media absolutely hate Orban. They have a penchant for calling him an authoritarian thug and dictator. Yes, these are the same people who have openly advocated cancel culture and vax mandates. They're lecturing us on authoritarianism. But for the rest of patriots across the globe, Orban has been a model of representing the values of faith, family, and freedom against the liberal tyrannies of leftist globalists. On his website, Trump made his endorsement of Orban official, saying, quote, Viktor Orban of Hungary truly loves his country and wants safety for his people. He has done a powerful and wonderful job in protecting Hungary, stopping illegal immigration, creating jobs, trade, and should be allowed to continue to do so in the upcoming election. He's a strong leader and respected by all. He has my complete support and endorsement for re-election as Prime Minister. Hungary is slated to have their national elections in April or May of this year. Now, at one level, this endorsement is very interesting because it reflects a growing phenomenon that scholars refer to as the internationalizing of the nationalist right. We've talked about this on other videos. The internationalizing of the nationalist right. So while the various nationalist right, patriot parties have all focused primarily on local and national elections, they all recognize that transnational politics are in many ways just as important, if not in the case of the European Union, even more important. And this is because the ultimate adversary in all this is globalization, and globalization by definition is transnational. And so virtually all of the nationalist right parties and organizations out there, they've begun to mobilize beyond just the national level, creating networks with like-minded parties and organizations in other countries. So most recently, an exciting new nationalist populist alliance was announced between Hungary, Poland, and Italy. Euronews reported that Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban officially joined forces with Poland's Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki and Italy's Matteo Salvini to form a new patriot political alliance at the European level. So they're vowing to create what they're calling a European Renaissance based on Christian values, or in Matteo Salvini's words, they want to make Europe great again. And so what Trump is doing here is simply an extension, this internationalizing of the nationalist right. He's actively creating alliances between the Patriot movement here in the United States with the Patriot movement in Hungary as a way of pushing back against the far-left dynamics of liberal globalization. And Viktor Orban, in many ways, really is at the center of this rising internationalization of the Patriot movement. If you don't know, Orban has been the #1 arch nemesis for George Soros on the international stage. So back in December of 2018, Soros's Open Society Foundations announced that it had become impossible to work in what they were calling the repressive atmosphere of Hungary, and that they were indeed picking up and moving their operations out of Hungary, in that case to Berlin. It was in response to the massive landslide win of Viktor Orban in their parliamentary elections back then. It was his 3rd win in a row. And he campaigned on what's commonly referred to as the Stop Soros Law, which penalizes all NGOs that seek to undermine Hungary's border security by assisting immigrants and refugees in crossing the border and getting into Hungary. And the penalty, which involved massive fines and taxes, simply made it impossible for the Open Society Foundations to continue their operations in Hungary. Viktor Orban also oversaw the expulsion of Soros's Central European University from Budapest. The Hungarian government refused to grant accreditation to the university, which in turn forced them to close their doors and leave Hungary altogether. Moreover, Viktor Orban has focused on revitalizing Hungary's demographics. Before Orban came to power, Hungary had alarmingly low fertility rates, around 1.2 children per woman, which is significantly below the replacement level of 2.1 children per woman. And so the Orban administration instituted programs and incentives for higher fertility rates by incentivizing marriage. And that's because high rates of marriage, they found, result in proportionately, you guessed it, high fertility rates. And so the Hungarian government has instituted very generous measures to promote both marriage and children. So, for example, if you have 4 or more children in Hungary, you and your spouse no longer pay income tax for the rest of your lives. How do you like that? And we now have data on those policies. We get to see now how such incentives have been working over the last decade. As of January of last year, Hungary saw an increase of nearly 10% more births and an increase of almost 100% more marriages. And the result is that as of January of last year, the population decline slowed by an astonishing 47%. So there's no question that Viktor Orban is one of the most effective and important patriots on the world stage today, and his reelection will only confirm that. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on a new billboard depicting Biden and Harris as Dumb and Dumber, going absolutely viral, all as yet another Democrat switches parties to the GOP. You're going to absolutely love it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.